In Lesson 5.3, we're going to look at some proportions. So first, let's talk about what a proportion is. A proportion is two equal ratios. I remember ratios is just a fancy word for fractions. Okay, so cross products. Cross products are the main way that I deal with proportions, and when we solve them, we're going to use cross products a lot. So cross products are answers when you multiply the numbers, I'm going to use the abbreviation, numbers, on the diagonal. And on the diagonal means that you're going to multiply top to bottom across the equal sign. Okay, so now if the cross products or the answers when you multiply are the same, then yes, it's a proportion. If not, you say no. So, but the trick is you're always going to want to multiply from the bottom to the top. So I'm going to do 8 times 9. You're going to write your answers on the top. And 12 times 6. Well, 12 times 6 is 72, and 8 times 9 is also 72. So these are equal fractions. They form a proportion. And you can do this with letters too. Multiply, you'd put B times C up here, and on the left side you do A times D. And these would be equal. Okay, so that's a proportion. We're going to use cross products. You're going to multiply from the bottom to the top and put your answers at the top. But we're going to show another way first. So pause the video if you need to before moving on. Okay, so the first way we're going to show you how to do this is, in case the cross products is a little confusing, this is another way that you can answer yes or no as this form of proportion. You can simplify your fractions. Okay, so that means to divide the numerator and denominator by the GCF. Well, the biggest number that goes into 42 and 56 is 14. And if you don't know that it's 14, you can just keep dividing by numbers that do go into both until you can't divide anymore. So 42 divided by 14 is 3, and 56 divided by 14 is 4. Now looking at my other fraction, 56 and 64, the GCF of those two is 8. So 56 divided by 8 is 7, and 64 divided by 8 is 8. Okay, the ratios in simplest form, 3/4 and 7/8, they're not equal. They're not equivalent. So they do not form a proportion. So now you're going to reduce both of these fractions by dividing top and bottom by the GCF. And then if you get the same fraction, if both of them reduce or simplify down to the same fraction, you'll say yes. If they reduce down to different fractions, you'll say no, they don't form a proportion. So pause the video and try that quick check before moving on. Okay, the next way is how I always do this. I just find cross products easier, but you can use whichever method you find to work better for you. So we're going to use cross products to answer if these ratios in each pair form a proportion. Now again, remember you always want to go bottom to top. So 10 times 6, multiply on the diagonal, and 4 times 15. So 4 times 15 is 60. 10 times 6 is 60. These are equal, so yes, these two fractions do form a proportion. Let's try example B. Multiply bottom to top, 6 times 9, and 7 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. 6 times 9 is 54. These are not equal, so no, these two fractions do not form a proportion. Okay? So now in Quick Check 2, you're going to take these three fractions, or these three pairs of fractions, And you're going to use the cross products. You could also try to simplify both and just say yes or no. Okay? But show your work. So you're going to say yes or no, and then show your work. Okay, pause the video, try those quick checks, and we'll check your work in class.